Hello vinyl community, Midge here, guy in a hat who likes to talk about records. I hope you're all feeling iron like a lion in Zion. And on today's video, I'm going to be talking about new releases I've been listening to, some ones that I picked up in September. Obviously, it's October now, and we're heading towards the end of the year, and it's the sort of time where I start thinking about my albums of the year. And I always love album lists and end of year lists. There's this great way of picking up stuff that you've been missing, or finding out what everyone else has been listening to all year and what their favourites are. Last 10 years or so, I've been doing it on Twitter, so I'm really looking forward to doing it on a YouTube channel. I think it'd be really cool. So yeah, I'm starting to think about that now. And last year, loads of albums came out in the latter half of the year, which made it really difficult to do. But there's been a few bangers in September and October, to be honest. So maybe some of them will end up on the list. But before we get started, I just wanted to show you something really cool. For my birthday, my daughter had me a sign made, and I thought it was really cool. Look at this. Midge's Vinyl Gems YouTube, and it's so cool. I mean, it just makes me feel like I'm totally legit now. I'm too legit to quit. I've got a sign and everything. It's it's cool. It just makes me feel like going into work tomorrow and handing in my resignation and spending my time doing YouTube videos about records, and it'd be cool. What could go wrong? I'm sure you get paid really well for doing it, and you get loads of freebies and stuff. So yeah, walk into work tomorrow, show them this, and just say this is what I'll be doing from now on. See ya. And what could go wrong? But yeah, I'm loving this. This is cool. It just feels like I'm official now. Like I've got to, I'm doing something. So yeah, I love this. It's cool. Yes, I'm just going to put that there. So yeah. Obviously, if I change the the tag to the channel, I'll have to have the sign change. I'm a big fan of crisps. So if I ever change to like reviewing crisps and doing random rundowns of the best crisps, I'll have to change the sign. But anyway, also as a bit of a joke, because my daughter made this sign, we had a bit of an unveiling ceremony just as a bit of a laugh, and I got a mate of mine to sort of like do like a pretend ceremony. So check this out. That's pretty cool.
So, ladies and gentlemen, nothing could give me greater pleasure than to unveil this plaque.
Anyway, so today's video, I'm going to be showing you 5 records from September, new release-wise, that I've really enjoyed, and I'm going to try and keep it concise. My videos are too long, I know this, I do waffle, so I'm going to try and keep it short and sweet. So I'm watching the timer now, so I'm hoping it doesn't go over 20 minutes, but we'll see. So starting off with the 10th album by Suede, Antidepressants. And I'm going to start off with the negatives, to be honest with you, because quite a few annoyances about this album. Not in terms of the music, though, in terms of the packaging. This is the limited indies version of the album. It's got like a negative cover, so the other cover's black and white. This is sort of white on black. And it's a poster sleeve, and I didn't realise that when I bought it, and it's terrible. I mean, I hate these poster sleeves anyway. They don't last, things fall out of them. This sort of like got obviously you've got your sleeve in there. You've got a black stiffener, and yeah, it's terrible packaging, to be honest with you. I mean, I don't really want a poster. I'm not going to put posters up now. I'm in my 50s, so I'm unlikely to put this up in me and my wife's bedroom. They're hard to fold out, as you can see. It's just terrible packaging. It's just awful. And the artwork's nothing to shout about either. The front cover's great, but I mean, that's the inner. No lyrics, poor pictures. I mean, that looks like a Crass album, that. And just a few credits and no lyrics, no other shots of the band. It's really poor, really poor. And they're flimsy, they don't last. It's terrible. And also, I'm not the sort of person that moans about, I'm not an audiophile. I find it all quite boring, to be honest. But you know, if you want to listen to decent music and make it sound fantastic, listen to digital. Vinyl's not the format for that. And you know, controversial opinion there. But I thought, you know, if you want amazing sound quality, why are you collecting vinyl? But you know, that's an unpopular opinion that I always held. But this is a white vinyl pressing, and the pressing's really poor. It's sort of like it's really noisy between tracks. It's sort of like got like a loud hiss and stuff like that. And like I say, I'm not normally fussy about vinyl pressings. And more often than not, they're really good, and even for coloured vinyl. But this is really noisy. It's really poor. So I'm kicking myself that I didn't get the standard black vinyl sleeve version. Yeah, so that sort of like put me off a bit. But it's an absolutely cracking album. It's Suede's 10th album. It's absolute banger, to be honest. I mean, since Suede have come back, they've hardly put a foot wrong. I think the albums have been really strong, and I just think they get better and better. And you know, I've heard Brett Anderson say they don't want to be seen as a nostalgia act. You know, they're still hungry for it, and they still want to make, you know, great music. And this bears it out. It's really strong album. It's sort of like got like a raw post punk sound. There's a touch of goth to it as well, and you know, I don't think it's a bad song on here. It's absolutely superb. You've got the single "Dancing with the Europeans," Antidepressants. The title track is an absolute banger as well. Criminal Ways, Trans State, Broken Music for Broken People. Just loads of like really sort of up tempo indie bangers, to be honest with you. And even the ballads are great. There's a song on here called June Rain, which is a really cool ballad, and it's got a really great line in it. You wave to me despite the fact I've let myself go, and that's just a great line. And yeah, it's just an absolute banger of an album. It's one of those albums that just gets better and better the more you listen to it. So yeah, highly recommend this album, but please don't buy this version. You know, go for your standard black vinyl. But yeah, superb album. I think could be on my end of year list, to be honest. Absolute storming album from Suede. Next up, we've got this is an artist that I picked up on a couple of years ago. He made an album called Western Come, and it had a giant sperm on the cover, and that was enough to make me try it out, to be honest with you, because, you know, what sort of album does that these days? It's just sort of crying to be checked out, isn't it? But fortunately, it was an absolute brilliant album. I absolutely loved it. And this is the follow-up album to that. It's by a guy called Corey Hansen. Corey Hansen is the vocalist, frontman and guitarist of the band Wand, who I've not checked out, to be honest with you. I think they're sort of like a neo-psych band. But Corey Hansen does his solo albums on the side. And like I say, his last album, I think it was 2023, Western Come, which is a great album, full of like guitar pyrotechnics, really catchy songs. And I was really curious as to see what he'd do next. And this is his latest album. But it's a bit of a change of tact. It's more like it sounds like a singer-songwriter album from the 70s. It's sort of like there's not as much guitar on it. It's quite obviously there's a full band, but it's more piano led this time. And the songs are like they're like character studies in a way, and it's really cool. It's got some really sort of amusing lyrics on it. It's quite downbeat. It sort of reminds me of sort of like sardonic type songs, like sarcastic, like sort of songs that Steely Dan would write, or Randy Newman, that sort of thing. So obviously you've got the title track, I Love People. I love people, I think they are works of art. I love people, I know they're animals at heart. I love people with incurable disease. So it's one of them things where, and obviously you've got the front cover. Is he being sarcastic? Does he genuinely mean it? It's one of those sort of albums. There's some other great songs on there as well. You've got things like Old Policeman, which really sounds like Tom Waits. That's another piano ballad. And it's a character sketch of a policeman who's getting to retirement, and obviously the job's been weighing on him and it's changed him. Pours himself a Coke and rum in his squad car all alone, searching Pornhub on his phone. She's barely 18 and he's on his way. So, it's like a character study of, like, people gone bad, people's lives that have soured. But it's not like a downbeat album at all. It's really upbeat at times. The opening track, Bird on a Swing, is a great song. And Joker as well, all upbeat, sort of catchy singer-songwriter. It does sound like a 70s singer-songwriter album, really catchy songs. There's not as much guitar on this album. It's really toned back from the last one. There's a song, a tribute to Lou Reed as well. Again, quite amusing lyrics. You were a prince and a fighter, and you were a Tai Chi master. And there's a great song called Final Frontier, which sort of like describes like an end of the world type wasteland, not the sort of place you want to be found in. They'll hang you upside down by your dick. I mean, yeah, it's not the sort of place it's not the sort of place for an 18 to 30 holiday or anything like that. And yeah, that's a great. It's got a really sort of spooky choral backing, like woo, all the way through it, and it paints a really great atmosphere. And again, great lyrics. Well, it's good to be God, because when shit hits the fan, you just go on believing you don't exist. It's just, I love this album. And it's, like I say, it's quite different from his last one, but it's one of them ones that really grows on you. Lots of character studies, mostly piano led, but really catchy. Yeah, really recommend it. It's on Drag City. You've got the lyrics on the back. It's got one of those sort of awful. I mean, it's obviously done, deliberately, a retro style Staunton stick-on sleeve. Them horrible cardboard sleeves that got the back covers pasted on that never wear very well. You Americans will know exactly what I'm going on about. I've never been a fan of that type of sleeve. But again, it doesn't matter because the music's so good. I really recommend this. Corey Hansen, I Love People. Another great one. Next up, another favourite of mine. This is a New Zealand indie band, and it's the latest album from the Beths. Straight Line Was a Lie. This is their fourth album. The Beths are great. New Zealand band, indie rock, four-piece band. The main songwriter is Elizabeth Stokes, and she's got an amazing way of writing songs. She writes sort of heart on sleeve songs, very sensitive, very sort of emotion based, but it's not downbeat at all. The lyrics are quite sharp and honest, but the actual music is really catchy. It's full of hooks. It's really uplifting, and they're one of those bands that sort of get better with every album. This album is superb, and like I say, this is their first album for the Anti label, and it's just a great album. The Straight Line Was a Lie of the title track. That's basically a reference to saying, it's sort of like those sort of self-help type things where, you read self-help books, you go to therapy, that sort of thing, and you think you've got everything sussed and everything is a straight line from now on, but life's not as simple as that. And she said, one of the lines is the straight line was a circle. So basically, your problems aren't just solved. It's constant maintenance. You're constantly having to look after yourself. You make mistakes. You go back on things. So it wasn't. Your life's not a straight line. Not everything's solved. You still go around in these circles, and you still have to sort yourself out. You might stumble. You might fall. So that's a great song. You've got No Joy, which is a great sort of indie rock upbeat. No Joy, No Joy. Great catchy number. You've got Metal, which was one of the singles. That's sort of really upbeat, jangly type pop, really catchy. And there's an absolutely beautiful song that closes side one, Mother Pray For Me, which is just sort of like a repeated electric guitar type riff, really gentle and just best vocal. And it's about her relationship with her mother, basically saying, Beth doesn't believe in God, and Mother's just, really does. And it's sort of like how people grow apart, even family members, and you've got to try and find some common ground. And there's some absolutely beautiful lyrics in that song. and it's really tugs at your heartstrings. It's a really heartfelt song, and that's really beautiful. Another favourite is Till My Heart Stops, which sounds to me like a song where, if you're the sort of person who's a bit shy and a bit underconfident and stuff, and sometimes you just want to say, I want to grab life by the balls and really give it a good go, but I can't because, I'm too frightened, I'm too, and it's one of those songs, I want to grab every opportunity, but it's very difficult to do it. And it finishes with Best Laid Plans, which is another great song. It's got like a really cool sort of conga rhythm going through it, which is unusual for them. But yeah, absolutely cracking album. I mean, like I say, just because she writes heart on sleeve lyrics, it's not a downbeat album at all. None of their albums are downbeat because the music's so uplifting and catchy. It's one of those things where if you weren't paying attention to the lyrics, you'd think, it was happy-go-lucky. So I love the Beths, really great band. This pressing comes with a fold-out poster showing the band. There's Elizabeth, and there's the band. Jonathan Pierce is the guitarist. He's a great guitarist. You've got the lyrics on the inner sleeve, and this comes pressed on a beautiful, what they call lime sherbet pressing, which is really cool. So yeah, absolutely love the Beths. Been really enjoying that album recently. So yeah, if you haven't heard the Beths before, honestly check them out. They're a great band. It's 15 minutes. I'm gonna have to get a move on. Another favourite of mine, Mac DeMarco. He released an album in September, simply called Guitar. And yeah, I love Mac DeMarco, like an indie kid, but he's unusual. He's lo-fi. He's a really talented musician. He's got a lovely voice. He plays guitar, plays drums, plays bass. It's very lo-fi set up usually, and unusually for someone in his sort of field. He writes love songs, and it's all a bit ramshackle. It's all a bit lo-fi, but he's got such a great way of writing love songs, and not a lot of people write love songs anymore, or just like he's got a very distinct way. It's almost like 70s style, like the singer-songwriter and heart on sleeve thing. But this is his first vocal album for a while. I think his last album was instrumental, although it was really enjoyable. But he's not made an album for a while. I'm not sure how long, but like I say, this is his latest album. Look at his crazy dog there. And yeah, it's called Guitar, not because it's sort of like it's full of like guitar solos or heavy guitar. It's really stripped back. So every track has the sort of basic electric guitar, acoustic guitar, bass and drums, all played by Mac. Like I say, really talented musician. It's got a really like homespun quality to it. And all the songs are really reflective. It's almost like a mature Mac DeMarco, if you like. He's sort of like looking back on relationships and looking back on times of his life and realising he didn't always do the right thing. He was actually a bit of a dick. And, just sort of looking over past relationships, things he could have done better. And like I say, they are framed as love songs, but there's a lot of like barbed lyrics and stuff, as it's not all sweetness and light. Yeah, just great songs. Often, a lot of them are really short, and yeah, just a really nice album. The only criticism I do have of it is that the arrangements are very specific. It's the same on every song, so it is that basic acoustic, electric, bass and drums. And towards the end of the album, it does get a bit samey. That's the only criticism I've got of it. But taken individually, the songs are beautiful, but it gets a bit much when you're hearing that sort of repetitive formula all the way through the album. So, yeah, I'm not going to say it's his best album, but it's nice to see Mac back, and it's nice to see him writing songs again and playing guitar. And yeah, I've enjoyed it, but like I say, I don't want to say it was his best album. This comes pressed on a nice orange transparent vinyl, and actually came with a guitar pick as well, which was quite cool. So yeah, So that's Mac DeMarco's guitar. And lastly, two favourites of mine, collaboration album between Kieran Hebden, better known as the electronic musician Fortet, and William Tyler, who's a Nashville guitarist. Now, I'm a big fan of both of these artists. Obviously, you probably heard of Fortet. He's been making electronic music for years. Some of his early albums were dub folktronica. He initially used a lot of guitar and electronics as well, which was unusual at the time. And William Tyler he's a Nashville guitarist, and he makes amazing sort of country based, but not typically country, instrumental albums, and he uses loads of effects pedals, loads of guitar pedals. Amazing guitarist. And he's made some great studio albums, and he's even made some great live albums as well, where he can really stretch out and stuff. So it was really cool to see the two pairing together on this album. The album's called 41 Longfield Street, late 80s, and apparently that's the address that Kieran Hebden used to live in London in the 80s. And it's sort of like an album based on the two's love of country. That was the house where Kieran remembered his dad playing a lot of country music, because his dad was a big country music fan. But I must stress, this isn't a country album at all. It's sort of based in that idea, but it's way beyond that. It's basically William Tyler's guitars, and Kieran Hebden plays guitars on it as well, and it's sort of like a mixture of sort of like William Tyler's effects, pedal-led guitars, and Kieran's electronics, but it's a really sort of beautiful wash of both. So it's quite an ambient album, to be honest. The centerpiece of the album is a Lyle Lovett song, which I've never heard before. There's no vocals, but it's an 11-minute sort of really beautiful, dreamy, sort of finger-picked electric guitar song. And it's a song of the two halves. So it starts with William's electric guitar doing like sweeping patterns and lovely, beautiful washes of sound. And then towards the end, Kieran Hebden's electronics come in, and it ends up being an electronic track at the end. But it's a nice melding of the two styles, and it's really cool. There's a couple of short soundscapey type tracks on here, only a minute long. Basically just to set the mood a bit, but most of the album is sort of like it's a really chilled out, laid back, ambient type album, mixing the guitars and electronics basically. There's a great track that finishes the album called Secret City, and it's sort of got a really sort of beautiful sort of acoustic guitar chord progression that just repeats endlessly and endlessly over 8 minutes, and it just slowly builds Kieran's electronics around it, and it's just so cool. It's just it's a really nice meeting of minds in terms of it's sort of like a really gentle sort of ambient type album with guitars and electronics. It's that simple, but it's really effective, and it's I don't think it's had the attention it should have had really. It's been quite a low key release. It was released on an Eat Your Own Ears label, which I've never heard of before, and it's been quite a low key release, but it's absolutely beautiful album. Like I say, two favourites of mine, and it's highly recommend that. So that's William Tyler and Kieran Hebden's 41 Longfield Street, late 80s. So that's it then. That's 5 albums from September. I'm already starting to buy stuff in October as well, so it's looking like it's going to be a busy month for new releases. Lots of exciting things on the way. There's Black Friday, which seems a bit poor this year. I've seen the list. I don't think I'm bothered about any of it. It seems a bit pish to me this year. And National Album Day, which has got some nice titles on it as well. So that's a couple of things to look forward to. So I hope there's something there that you'll check out and you'll like, and I'll see you on the next video. And don't forget, I'm official now. I'm official. Yeah. Okay. See you later.